If you have a greenhouse, you know that during the day, even if it's 40 degrees outside, your greenhouse will get 60 degrees, 70 degrees just with the sun. But at nighttime is when it actually gets cold, and it'll drop to pretty much whatever temperature it is outside. So let me show you. Lately it's been dropping down to about 30, and so I've had to supplement my heat. So let me show you my greenhouse heater. First we'll start out with what produces the heat, and it's just insulation, but what I have is this is an old propane tank that I turned into like a potbelly type, wood stove, and I actually have a video on that, and I'll put a link below. But I wrapped electrical conduit around the entire outside, and that flows my water. The insulation just keeps the heat in, helps distribute the heat to it. You'll see I'll have a line coming in here, and it comes out over here. And put your wood in, put your log in, let it burn. Water flows in, around 6 times, and it heats itself up. You'll notice 2 lines just run along and directly into the greenhouse. From here we got a whole tangle of stuff, but essentially this is just 2 lines. So one line comes out of the cooler, out of this bilge pump, this 12-volt bilge pump for boats, and that goes to one side of the fireplace. And you guys that saw my tent heater yet, this is the same stuff. This is adapted from that. And then the other line actually connects into the bottom of this unit, and the top line right here dumps into here with this. I know it looks confusing. It all just runs off of a 12-volt deep cycle battery, and it'll run for days and days off that, well, nights and nights. It'll probably run about 4 nights off that. And this is the heat distribution unit, and this consists of an automotive heater core and 4 computer fans and an on-off switch. And they just pull the heat through the heater core and just blast it out and heat everything up. So during the day the cooler will actually heat up in the greenhouse, and at night I usually just leave it open, and I leave all the extra hose in here because this also radiates heat, radiates heat into the area. This is only a 4-foot by 10-foot greenhouse, 12-foot greenhouse, something to that effect. But you start off and this is a non-pressure system, so you don't have to worry about boilers and blowing yourself up. It's all open, so if the water starts boiling, no big deal. But it starts at the bilge pump, runs out to the fire, around the coil in the fireplace, back out to the heater core, out of the heater core, back into here. That's all it is. I could shorten these loops a lot if I wanted to. And this is all just PEX tubing. It's rated at 100 PSIs at 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So even if you got this up to 200 degrees or so, you wouldn't have to worry about it because it's running at 0 PSIs. No worries. You do need something that will handle the hot water, and this stuff's pretty cheap, usually about 30 cents a foot or something to that effect. But that eliminates the need to put you could just put a fireplace or the little wood burning stove inside your greenhouse, but if you can see the walls, it's greenhouse film, but it's essentially just clear plastic, and that stuff will melt. So you can't get too hot, you'll just melt everything. You gotta have a hole in the roof. Didn't want to do that, didn't have the space to do that, didn't have the area to do that without hurting stuff. So outside produces all the heat. Inside, and the coil, you can run that off of anything. You could put that, if you watched my campfire video, you could put the coil, you could use the same coil I used for that, and you could put that in a 55-gallon drum and just heat up a 55-gallon drum. Well, that's how I've been heating my greenhouse for the last week or so. It's been keeping the temperatures around 55 to 60 degrees at night when it drops down to a low of about 30 or so. So put a link right here and down in the description of the tent heater if you didn't see that, and that'll show you a little bit more detail on how I built it, and a little bit better. It's spread out a little bit more, and I'll show you the heater core a little bit better. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe and rate and comment below. Thanks guys, bye.